All right, what is going on, guys? Happy Wednesday. We've got a massive pre-Thanksgiving slate here. We got 14 games. As always, we're going to talk about every single one. I'll give you my leans and then 8 best bets on props today. But before we do that, guys, join the Discord. It is absolutely free. Card has already been posted in there before it goes on YouTube. And make sure you give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Talk about yesterday. Disappointing, 3-3. We still haven't had a losing day necessarily in terms of picks. I mean, if you bet them all straight, yeah, you took a loss. But Giannis didn't play, so that was disappointing. Harrison Barnes, under 4.5 rebounds. Might have been the craziest 8-second stretch I've ever seen. So I think it was, let's see, Steven Castle shoots it. Harrison Barnes gets the rebound. Harrison Barnes goes to shoot it. Collins blocks him. He gets his own rebound, kicks it out to Wemby. Wemby misses. He gets an offensive rebound. So he gets 3 offensive rebounds in 8 seconds in the third quarter. What the hell? Nothing you can do there. Walker Kessler under 10.5 boards. That was super sweat-free. Josh Giddey under 6.5 rebounds, sweat-free. Julius Randle over 11.5 rebounds and assists. Very frustrating. He got into foul trouble. It is what it is. Even went into overtime, and he didn't do a damn thing in overtime. Bam Adebayo over 13.5 rebounds, assist. Same story, except no overtime. Got in foul trouble, couldn't get rebounds. Yusuf Nurkic over 8.5 rebounds, sweat-free. Nailed that one. So 3-3 on the day. Like I said, disappointing, not what we wanted, but beautiful slate today. I'm excited to really talk about this, get into it. Let's get into the first game on the card here. It's going to be Miami Heat and the Charlotte Hornets. In terms of injuries, let's see what we got here. Still no Bridges. So Bridges is out, Trey Mann's out, Richard's out, Jeffries is out. On Miami side of the ball, Kevin Love's a game time decision. May play, may not play. Very minimal impact. To me, it all comes down to LaMelo Ball and how he shoots. He's going to take a shit ton of shots. If you have the DraftKings King of the Court boost, I would say it's got to be between him and the Joker today. I'm leaning towards Melo. His points line's at like 32.5, and he's kind of in between, on the fence to go over that, but his rebound and assist line's pretty good. Just not a guy I trust to make shots, but I'll probably end up taking him. He could throw up 50 points tonight. Who knows? Miami, can they bounce back after a tough loss last night on a back-to-back, traveling? I think they do. I would say Miami minus 3.5 in this spot. Trailblazers and the Pacers. Good old Pacers. We see another double-digit for Portland. I feel bad for Portland. Every night they're a double-digit underdog. Sucks. For Indy, in terms of injuries, nothing too crazy on their side. For Portland, they might get Ayton back and Henderson. Those would be 2 huge guys to come back into the lineup. Grant's probably out tonight. Klingland's definitely out. So it's a complete fade for me on this game. I would lean Portland plus 10.5, but absolute fade. I mean, over 231.5. That's high for Portland, low for the Pacers. So I think that's appropriately placed. I would lean probably more towards the over if I had to pick, but complete fade spot for me. Hawks and the Cavs. This one, will it be interesting or not? I don't know. No major injuries on either side of the ball that I can... Let's see. Trae Young is a game-time decision. That's the only thing. He's 50-50. I mean, if Trae Young doesn't play, it's going to be a bloodbath. I think it's going to be a bloodbath either way, but no major injuries on Cleveland side. LeVert's still out, so you got your backup to Darius Garland's out. Maybe a Darius Garland over assist. It's probably 6.5, and it's probably sitting around minus 140 something if I had to guess. Not one I necessarily looked at. Jared Allen rebounds. It's like 10.5 or 11.5. A little too high for me. If anything, I do like the Evan Mobley over 8.5 rebounds. He does tend to go over that line quite a bit. So that's a possibility. But I like Trae Young under 11.5 assists. That's definitely on the card today. We've only had one guard go over double-digit assist versus the Cavs, and that was LaMelo, which his line was 6.5. So pretty good there. But I like Trae Young under. It's kind of a scary number to take Trae Young under assists, but I think it's the right play ultimately. Okay. let's get into Houston and Philly. Dear God, I don't know how Houston is plus 5.5. Philly's plus 5.5. This is Houston minus 5.5. I guess because it's a back-to-back night, but 76ers are still going to be without Paul George. They're going to be without Embiid. Who else was out? I mean, it's just a shit show. Lowry's still out. Caleb Martin's a game-time decision. Nothing on the Houston lineup. So they should roll. This is very similar to yesterday when I was all over the Bulls, minus 4.5 or whatever it was, and it ended up being a blowout. This should follow suit. I mean, no way I can fade Houston minus 5.5 in this spot against a 76ers team that's just absolute ass. Only bright spot really is Jared McCain. Dude's been playing lights out. He's been balling. But Houston minus 5.5. Clippers, Wizards. Clippers minus 10.5. I'm comfortable taking the Clippers minus 10.5 in this spot. I think they absolutely roll. Zubac's rebound line is a little too high for me, man. I've been loving rolling with him, but it's like 12.5 today. If it drops to 11.5, I might take it. The problem is if it turns into a blowout, it doesn't play much of the fourth, and I think he needs a decent amount of the game to get that many rebounds. But yeah, Clippers minus 10.5. Harden's assist lines at minus 8, or it's 8.5. Again, kind of the same thing. I think he hits it, but I'm just going to fade. We got 14 games. We don't have to force any bets today. It's beautiful. All right, Bulls and the Magic. Bulls blowout win against the Wizards yesterday. Now going to Orlando. Orlando at home is just a different beast. 10.5 is a lot, though, against this Bulls team. Bulls play at a really fast pace, so I like the over 224.5 in this spot. But another thing, I'm not going to push it. It's just a fade game, ultimately. All right, Knicks and the Mavericks. This one says it's going to be good on paper. It's Dallas at home, but I like the way the Knicks are rolling. Knicks minus 4.5 in this spot for me. I like the Josh Hart over assist. I like the Cat over rebounds. Could look at maybe Gafford rebounds. Lively is a game-time decision, so there is a potential he does not play. Quentin Grimes is a game-time decision. Klay Thompson is a game-time decision. Knicks side of the ball, Achua's still out and Robinson's out, but Miles McBride is going to be back today, so I'm sure Jalen Brunson over assist is going to be a popular play. But you got to figure McBride's back. That said, I'm pretty sure he was back last game and he still hit it, but 8.5, it's kind of a lot for me. I don't really trust Jalen Brunson that much, but I do trust Josh Hart over 5.5 assists though. That play is starting to get a little juice though. I'm not going to lie. I got that in this morning. All right. Next game on the card is going to be the Pistons and the Grizzlies. Unfortunately, one of my favorite props, the Ja Morant over assist, is not going to be in play because he is out today. So he's out. Vince Williams out. Gigi Jackson's out. Zach Edey's still out. So it's going to fall on guys like Scottie Pippen and Desmond Bane. This team plays well. There's no names, but they play really well. Going up against, why does it say? Oh, okay. Never mind. Going up against the Pistons. For the Pistons, Tobias Harris is a game-time decision. Cade Cunningham is technically a game-time decision, but not expected to play. If Tobias Harris doesn't play, this is going to be real bad. Memphis minus 8.5. Without all their players, I don't know. It's a fade for me. I would assume Memphis minus 8.5. I like Jalen Duren under 13.5 rebounds plus assist. I really like that bet a lot. So taking that today for sure. Kings and the T-Wolves. Minnesota minus 4.5 after a nice little overtime loss to the Rockets. Rockets just came out hot last night. That's another thing. You can't get rebounds if they don't miss. And man, they came out guns a-blazing. They came out absolutely on fire. So how will Minnesota respond? They're at home. Sacramento's traveling. We look at the Kings. They're 4-4 on the road. They're actually better on the road than they are at home. T-Wolves are 5-3 at home, 3-6 away. So to me, it's a good spot to take the T-Wolves here. So take the T-Wolves minus 4.5. I do like the Gobert over 11.5 rebounds. It's not on the card. It is a a good lean. Centers have really good rebound lines against the Kings. So I do like that. A lot of the Kings props haven't come out yet for some reason. So I'm curious what the Sabonis rebound line will be. Maybe De'Aaron Fox under assist. Potentially it's probably going to be at 5.5, most likely. Something like that. You look at De'Aaron Fox over points. I mean, he's been killing it on the points. No DeMar DeRozan tonight. That is huge. So no DeRozan, no Trey Lyles. So two of their forwards are going to be out. And for Minnesota, Conley's a game time decision. Makes a little bit of a difference, but not too much. So that's where we're at on that game. All right, Raptors and the Pelicans. We're getting closer to the end. All right, Raptors, Pelicans. Pelicans still, their entire team is hurt, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, on one bright spot, DeJounte Murray is expected to play today. So that could be interesting. So you probably, Ingram's a game time decision. Trey Murphy's a game time decision. Still out with Alvarado, Herb Jones, Zion's out. So lots of injuries. Toronto side of the ball, Grady Dick is out, Brown's still out, Kelly Olynyk's still out, and Quickly still out. So a lot of issues there. One of my favorite plays is the Podol over rebounds. It's 11.5 today. If it drops to 10.5, I'll pull the trigger. 11.5, I'm just not sure, to be honest with you. It is supposed to be a tight game, so I'm going to continue looking into that a little bit more. I would just lean more towards the over 222.5 in this game rather than pick a winner. All right, Lakers and the Spurs. Spurs put a little beat down on the Jazz last night. Wemby just went ham in the first half. That was pretty wild to watch. He didn't do anything on the rebound side. He was just shooting like crazy. Chris Paul, who's been tearing up the assist, only had like 4. So really low. I think he had 2 at halftime. So pretty crazy. Trey Jones, one of the Treys. Let's see. I think it's Trey Jones. He went off on the assist line. So he had a really good night. Lakers minus 2.5 in this spot would be my lean, coming off a little beatdown by Phoenix. I don't think they go back-to-back losses here. So plus you've got the Spurs playing. So they're both playing on back-to-backs. Question is, how many minutes will Wemby play? The play I love in this is Wemby over 9.5 rebounds. I like that. He was shooting last night. I think he focuses more on the boards tonight. All right, Nets and the Suns. Phoenix rolling, man. Durant's back. I think we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how they play Durant on a back-to-back. Same with Beal. He got 30 minutes last night. I think it'll probably be something similar today. So Phoenix minus 9.5 at home. Good spot here. I actually like that line. I don't mind with the 9.5 for that team. Okay, Nuggets and the Jazz. Nuggets minus 9.5. Jazz at home. We saw them get beat down last night. I like Nuggets minus 9.5, or the under 231.5 would probably be my preference there. Last game on the card, Oklahoma City Thunder, Golden State Warriors. I think Steph is a game time decision. Yeah, Steph and Kuminga are game time decisions. No Caruso, no Dang, no Holmgren, no Williams for the OKC. Bet I love today. Favorite play of the day. Love this bet. Hartenstein over 9.5 rebounds. There's no way it stays there. By the end of the day, there's going to be so much action on that bet. So I like that. Let's get into our best bets here and get you guys on your way. So we already talked about a lot of these. Josh Hart over 5.5 assists. He's over this in 8 of his last 10 games. Dallas averages about 5.5 assists to the shooting guard position. I did look at his rebound line potentially going under, which I still might take. I don't know, but I just ended up going with his assist. All right, Cat over 11.5 rebounds. Over this in 4 of the last 5 games. Dallas averaging 16 rebounds to the center position. He's only hit this in 3 of 13 games versus Dallas. I think that's why we're seeing this line here at this price. But he had Rudy Gobert at center. Now he's the center. So I love him to go over this. Dallas is very prone to give up a lot of rebounds, especially without Luka in the lineup. All right, Tyrese Halliburton under 33.5 PRAs. We're fading Tyrese. He's under this in 3 of his last 10 games. Portland does a pretty good job against point guards. They're 9th in terms of points allowed to point guard, 13th in rebounds, and 19th in assists. So he's going to have one hell of an assist game to hit this, in my opinion. Wemby over 9.5 rebounds. Already talked about this. He's got a 100% hit rate versus the Lakers. He's 4 for 4 against them. He's over this in only 4 of his last 10 games, which is surprising. But the Lakers, terrible against centers. I mean, I should just pull the trigger on his PRA line. Lakers are 24th in points allowed to the center position. They're 29th in rebounds allowed to the center position, 24th in assists allowed to the center position. Centers have been destroying them. Favorite play of the day, Hartenstein, over 9.5 rebounds. He's over this in both of his games back. He's had 10 and 14. Golden State, dead last in rebounds allowed to the center position. 8 of the last 10 centers have crushed this line. So really love this spot for him, especially with Holmgren out. He just sees more minutes, so it's beautiful. He's probably going to play 30-ish minutes, high 20s, low 30s. Should kill this line. Jamal Murray over 5.5 assists. He's over this in 7 of his last 8 games. Utah 29th in assists allowed to the point guard position. 8 of the last 11 point guards have hit their assist line against them. Obviously, we talked about Chris Paul. Didn't get it last night, but Trey Jones... It's Trey Jones. I don't know why I'm stumbling on that, but crushed that line. All right, so Jalen Duren under 13.5 rebounds and assists. He's over this in 2 of his last 10 games on the road. So he's only hit this in 2 of 10 on the road. 5 of 8 centers have missed this line. 5 of the last 8. My thing with Duren, he's going to foul. This dude is a hack. He is hacking everybody. So he could definitely get into foul trouble. And if he hits it, tip the cap. Trae Young under 11.5 assists. Like I said, kind of scary, and he's a game time decision, so I wouldn't go heavy on this because he may not play. But he's over this in 7 of his last 10 games. But like I said, only LaMelo was the only guard to hit double-digit assists versus Cleveland this year. So that's just a system play. I know Trae Young's pretty damn good, but yeah, I mean, we got a big line here in this game. So give me that one. A couple of leans I like. Didn't make the card, but we'll call these are the dance partners. The dance partners would be Russell Westbrook over 4.5 assists. Super juiced at -150, but I love him to hit this today. Chris Paul over 7.5 assists. He had 11 versus the Lakers on November 15th. So I think he has a nice bounce back day. We're getting a little bit of a value at 7.5 because of last night. As said, it is juiced at -142. And then leans, couple of leans I like would be the Wemby over PRAs. It's at 38.5. He has hit this every time against the Lakers, so good value there. And then the Rudy Gobert over 11.5 rebounds, -125 on DK. And then the final one, if Zubac drops to 11.5, I will definitely be pinging that. Or if Jacob Poeltl drops to 10.5, those are 2 that I will be hitting. So, woo! All right, that said, that's every game. Picks, props, guys. Like the video, comment down below with your favorite play. Join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next video.